First off, it's Charles J. That just in case you ain't heard of me, they told me it was too late. But I promise that I'll be the first to speak. Most of these rappers, they fake. But you can't have your way the same bird kid. Everybody said it won't be till they see smoke, then they realize they'd rather have turkey meat.
What it do, what it do? It's 903 Boxing. I'm your host, Charles Shite. Say, man, shout out to my audience. Shout out to those that's rocking with me. And yeah, we back in the kitchen. There's a whole lot of goddamn sauce in this pot, man. Let's get to the shite. Tank Davis, the best fighter in the world. Tank Davis versus Frank Martin is a better fight than Canelo Alvarez versus Jaime Munguia. And before you start wondering, listen, I'm comparing these two because at this point it's a war between who's the face of boxing. I say it ain't no face of boxing, but if I had to pick, I'd pick Tank. I would pick Tank. Let's talk Canelo. Canelo versus Jaime Munguia is nothing more than a tune-up fight. Jaime Munguia struggled against Derevchenko, old Derevchenko, a 39-year-old Derevchenko. A lot of shit. Jaime Munguia is green. He's very green. Jaime Munguia has 50 fights but zero experience. I'm telling you, I really want to know these other 47 opponents that he's faced. He got about 50 fights, close to it. You know, Whatchamacallit had that kind of record too. Old Zurdo Ramirez. I remember Oscar said, "Oh yeah, he gonna pass Floyd. He gonna go 51-0." So the Zurdo got his dust ass in there with Bill. Bill will sweep his ass. I think he might have beat Zurdo worse than he beat Canelo. I don't know, it's close. He beat the shit out of both of them. Listen, Canelo is a good fighter. I have no problem saying he's good. He's just not great, and he's never been great. And he's overrated. I think he's one of the most overrated fighters that have existed. Canelo is he almost as overrated as Arturo Gatti. You know, Arturo Gatti made the Hall of Fame. That Mickey Ward shit. I guess that trilogy got him there, bro. I just don't get it, bro. I'm gonna leave that alone. But yeah, if I'm telling you, bro, at this point, they better put Sean Porter in the Hall of Fame. I'm telling you that right now. If you motherfuckers can put Arturo Gatti and you can put Rocky for them movies, put him in the Hall of Fame. If you can put Arturo Gatti in there, Sean Porter is a Hall of Famer. Like I say, he was just stuck in the division, bro, with some beasts, bro. He had to go through Keith. He had to go through a young Kell Brook. He had to go through Earl. He went through Bud. I think Sean Porter is a Hall of Famer. And I can argue that Danny Garcia is a Hall of Famer. Danny was really good, too, though. Danny was really, really good. I ain't gonna lie, I thought he beat Sean Porter. I liked his fight with Keith Thurman better than the Sean Porter fight. Danny was real good. Danny got a good resume, too. But, anyway, Canelo, this Jaime Munguia shit is, I'm telling you, bro, it is food. It is food. Boy, don't get no more. This is a steak. This is a well-done steak. You don't even need no sauce. Jaime Munguia is going to give Canelo everything he wants. Canelo is an aggressive counterpuncher. That's tailor-made. Because Jaime Munguia going to let his hands go. Oh, and they fast, and he going to do some little combinations here and there. And it's going to look exciting as shit till he get his ass clipped. He's going to get clipped. This going to be one of Canelo's best highlight reel knockouts. You know, he said he wasn't going to fight a Mexican no more. Boy, he picked the perfect Mexican. I tell you that. You know, I don't know. I guess that I think David Benavidez is claiming Mexican now. He was saying he's Mexican at Ecuador. I don't know. Because he still bring the flag to the ring. I don't know. But I think he done crossed all the way over. Ever since Mike, baby mouth Mike called him the Mexican monster. But Jaime Munguia is the perfect Mexican. And another thing we're going to talk about. This shit ain't. Cause it's Mexican on Mexican, and Tank versus Frank is black on black, and I'm not trying to make this racial. It just is, bro. It just is, because I already see it coming, bro. I'm telling you, bro. Even it's gonna be some Tank fans. It's gonna be a lot of fans. It's gonna even be some Tank fans talking about, Frank Martin, this and that. Listen, Tank versus Frank Martin is not as big as Tank versus Ryan Garcia. It ain't as big as Tank versus Shakur or Devin, but it's still a good fight, and it's still a big fight because Tank in it. Frank ain't the biggest name, but Tank is a draw. And I'm telling you, if they have it in Atlanta, I'm telling you that it's gonna be lit. But I'm hearing it's gonna be in Houston. And if it's in Houston, I might have to slide. Yeah. I might have to slide to the if it's in the H. But that ain't shit. But Frank ain't the biggest name, but Jaime Munguia ain't either. I would say Jaime Munguia and Frank, they name is by neck and neck. Jaime Munguia ain't no big name like that in boxing, bro. And just because it's two Mexicans, bro, it ain't big as you think, bro. It ain't big. And I think Tank versus Frank is bigger. Especially like I say, if it's in Houston or if it's in Atlanta, it's gonna be lit. It's gonna be lit. That's just my opinion. But in ways I can't compare this fight, most people think Tank is gonna knock Frank the fuck out. And most people think Canelo is gonna knock Jaime Munguia the fuck out. But the difference is, Frank Martin more dangerous than Jaime Munguia. And he can think better. Jaime Munguia has no ring IQ. Frank Martin got a ring IQ. Frank Martin is slick. Frank Martin is athletic, very athletic. Frank Martin got very good feet. I would say Frank Martin is a better opponent than, I don't know, I'm just talking when you talk from pound for pound level, whether it's weight class or nothing. Frank Martin is a better fighter than Jaime Munguia to me. How soon we forget. Listen, let me say this too. If shit was real, this is what should be going down. Edgar Berlanga should be fighting Jaime Munguia. That's the perfect fight for Edgar Berlanga. And I think Edgar Berlanga beat him. I think Edgar Berlanga will knock Jaime Munguia the fuck out. But I think it'll be competitive, but Berlanga gonna catch his ass. That should be the fight. And David Benavidez, instead of fighting Gavastic, who retired for 3 years, you should be fighting David Morrell. And Canelo should be fighting, he should be fighting Bivol and be trying to get his scratch back. Yeah, if shit was real, I think Canelo should be trying to fight Bivol. And Bivol even said, I come to 168 and beat your ass. I think Canelo, instead of, because people seem to forget, and it's such a thing that Canelo should fight Benavidez, I think Canelo should fight Bivol and get your scratch back. I think you should get your scratch back instead of walking away from that shit. Bro, that looked so soft. You went, after you got your ass beat 12 rounds, you went and fought a fucking Triple G for a third time and brought him up to 168 at 40 years old. You needed some shit like that to build your confidence. You should have went right back to the smoke. That's why I say you ain't no great, bro. Sugar Ray Leonard went right back to the smoke. Roy Jones went right back to the smoke. These dudes went right back to the smoke. Even though Roy Jones, it was a big weight cut, like 25 pounds, coming back down to 175 and fighting Tarver. Yeah, I thought he won the first fight, but that second fight, yeah. And weight, I do think weight could have had a lot to do with it. I think weight was very detrimental to Roy Jones' career. But he rematched him immediately. You supposed to get that scratch back immediately, but you didn't. Yeah. I just think Canelo, he just do soft ass shit. I tell you what, I don't think anybody beat Tank. Tank gonna run that shit back. That's just my opinion. I think Tank is the fighter. Yeah, he ain't fighting David and Shakur yet, but I'm just saying it's a difference. I think Tank is more of a dog, and I can argue that Tank resume is just as good as Canelo's. How about that? Because I hear so many boxing fans that say that Canelo has the best resume in boxing. Oh, if only Tank could have got two 40-year-old legends in the ring. Tank didn't do that though. Yeah, you got Miguel Cotto and Shane Mosley at 40 years old, bro. And you tried to beat a 36-year-old Floyd and got beat every round. You had a tooth and nail fight with a Triple G who lost to Devonchenko and Danny Jacobs, bro. What is Canelo's best win? Is it Caleb Plant? Is it Caleb Plant or is it Triple G? Which one? Which one is his best win? What is Canelo's best win in his entire career, bro? This shit is cap. I just don't know how we fall for this shit. This shit is not what you think. What is his best win? Is it Caleb Plant? Well, look at what David Benavidez did to him. And look at how the fact that Caleb Plant do very good in the early rounds, but he slow down later rounds. He would have beat Canelo had he not got tired. Caleb Plant would have beat Canelo. He got tired, bro. And then he asked him, how am I doing? And that shit distracted him. Then he dropped his hands and got hit right with a left hook and clipped his ass. But, nah, bro, I thought you lost to Laura. I thought Laura put on a clinic. Later rounds you started coming on. Good body work, but I thought Laura clearly won that fight. But anyway, yeah, when we talk about your best win, what is it, Triple G? Is it Laura? I mean, is it Triple G? Is it Caleb Plant? I mean, what is it? And Triple G proves to be a hype job. So how valuable is your best win? I don't know. I think the version that you follow of Caleb Plant will get destroyed by David Morrell inside 3 rounds. The fresh, undefeated version of Caleb Plant that you fought, I think David Morrell would have destroyed him inside 3 rounds. So how good is your best win? So I can argue that Tank has just as good of a resume. This Frank Martin fight, because, and when I say that, Tank has fought some good ass fighters. Barrios was a good ass fighter. Cruz was very dangerous. I'm telling you, bro, Cruz finna knock Rolly the fuck out in devastating fashion. And I'm telling you, bro, he gonna put 140 on notice, and a lot of people gonna try to fight him at 140. I'm gonna tell you some wild shit. I think Isaac Cruz will beat Teofimo Lopez. Just me, keep his head on the line too much. His defense ain't good enough. He gonna get hit with that shit. Cruz gonna beat some dudes, but he gonna lose to a boxer. Hitchens, Devin, and I think Matias will beat him. But the rest, Cruz will give you trouble. Cruz gonna give you trouble. Yeah, I think Devin, Hitchens, and Matias are the top 3 at 140. But and Devin number 1 for sure. But now I'm gonna tell you something. How soon we forget. We look at that Abdullah dude that Frank Martin just fought, and he had a tough little scratch. But there's certain things we forget. You gotta look at the whole fight, bro. This dude was tall, rangy. It was a different look from what Frank Martin had seen. It was a different look, very off, different kind of rhythm, very awkward, and that motherfucker came to win. And he was undefeated. That motherfucker came to win. But Frank Martin timing was off. But also, I think that dude came to fight. But also, the key to that fight for me, and even though I think Derrick James is overrated and shit like that, and he waited too long to tell Frank Martin to go get him. He waited till like the 11th round. But when he told Frank to go get him, Frank went and got him. And one thing about Frank, in every fight I've ever seen him in, he gonna clip you at some point and have you on wobbly legs. Frank Martin got that killer instinct. I just wish he truly step on the gas. I want him to step to Tank. Not like Rolly did. Not with that reckless ass aggression. You gotta step to him, bro. You can't let Tank walk your ass down, because you're not good on the back foot. Frank is good mid-range and walking your ass down. Walk Tank down strategically behind the jab. You got longer arms. Frank Martin right hook is lethal. His right hook is a motherfucker. He got a good straight left hand. You're going to have a hard time getting out of the way of Tank's straight left, though. Yeah, I see it going straight down the pipe and clipping you a couple times. I could see Frank getting dropped a few times in this fight. But this fight got the potential to be a action-packed from round 1 to whenever it ends. Or if Frank can get to a decision, I definitely think Tank gonna win. Maybe Frank can get to a decision, but I see him getting dropped a few times. But I'm telling you right now, this may be the first time we see Tank in a compromised position. I think Frank can clip him. I don't think he's gonna stop Tank though. I think Tank tough though. I think Tank tough, but I think Frank gonna hit him with some. I ain't saying he's just gonna be wobbling all. I just think he gonna hit him with some that you can tell it kind of rocked him a little bit. I think Frank Morton has very underrated power. And the difference between him and Ryan, Frank is not reckless. Frank got very good timing. Very good timing. I like that he wear the high guard. I see him slipping some of them shots, but Tank gon' clip him. But I gotta give a shout out to Tank. Even though you ain't fighting Shakur or Devin, cause them the fights I want. You fighting a black fighter, you putting money in another black fighter's pocket. Frank started late. He didn't have a whole lot. So this definitely gonna change him and his family's life. So I look at this shit outside of boxing too. This gonna change his life. And I think Frank deserves it. Because we look at the last performance, but look at the performance before that. Maybe Frank is one of them that rise to the competition because Michelle Rivera was considered that guy. This Abdullah dude he just fought, he was a dude from overseas. Nobody knew him, but that dude came to fight, and Frank really underestimated that dude. But he didn't underestimate Michelle Rivera. And when you look at that fight, bro, look at his reflexes. Look at how Frank Morton was reactive. And his counterpunching game is good. I was very shocked at how he did, because Michelle Rivera is still good. And I like him at 140. I like to see Michelle Rivera fight or Jermaine Ortiz at 140. That'd be a good fight. I like Michelle Rivera. I like him. And he is good. Frank just took it to another level. That was by far Frank's best performance. When you look at that fight, that is the best version you've ever seen in your life of Frank Morton. Frank Morton was on his shit. A lot of people tried to act like, Michelle Rivera just ain't that. Frank Morton was that night. Bro, he was so fucking precise. His defense was on point. Everything was on point that night. He leveled up. So, I'm hoping you can do this with Tank. I don't think you beat him. You got action, though. You're going to have to let your hands go more than ever. That's one thing I don't like at times. Sometimes you don't let your hands go at certain moments. And if you can clip Tank, you got to follow through on that shit. And I don't trust you on the inside because I think that uppercut is going to clip you. Tank is very dangerous on the inside. Very dangerous on the inside. But mid-range, you can beat him. You got the arm reach. You can make this fight very interesting. Very interesting. Frank Morton is a better fighter than a Jaime Munguia. And like I say, this This a good fight. It's a good fight. I am so glad, like I said, you didn't fight up, because you had every excuse to fight Rayo after he knocked out Chris Colbert the way he clipped the shit out of Chris Colbert. Yeah, I feel bad for old Chris. I said, but that shit didn't go as viral as I thought it would, because normally when a Mexican knock out a black fight, that shit is the biggest shit ever. It didn't go as viral. It was more black people pointing that shit out and clowning that shit. Fucking baboons. Anyway, but yeah, you had every right and every excuse to fight old Rayo. But I'm so glad you didn't fight. And Rayo, you need to take your ass back and fight old De Los Santos and get your scratch back pimping instead of waiting on that check. Yeah, you didn't have to fight Frank. You did not have to fight Frank at all. But you did, so I definitely like the fight. And I see y'all already Twitter warning. Frank gonna talk that shit to you too. This shit gonna get a little greasy. That's gonna get a little greasy. I can't wait till that first face off. I'm just big on shit. Like, I love the press conference, the face offs, the interviews. I look at all that shit. I look at your demeanor. I see you before the training camp, the press conference after the training camp, the demeanor, the hunger. I like to see all that shit. And Frank Morton is a very serious dude. And I think he take his craft serious. I think he always in the gym. I think he dedicated. Frank can clip Tank. That's what nobody talk. Frank can clip him. I don't think he can outbox him. That's why I said if you try to get on the back foot and just outbox Tank, you try to do some shit like that, like Barrios tried, it won't work for you. It won't work for you. It won't work for you. You gotta bully Tank. You gotta bully him, and not just physically but mentally. You gotta put that mental pressure on him, and let him know you the big dog. But you're gonna have to go through fire, thunder, hurricanes, and all kind of other shit to get that shit out. But I'm telling you, bro, Frank got action. Frank got action. I got it as a 60-40 fight. But I think Jaime Munguia Canelo is an 80-20 fight. That shit is an 80% chance Canelo knocks Jaime Munguia the fuck out. And like I said, I'm comparing them because we keep acting like Canelo is the face of... Canelo was never the face of boxing. What fight made him the face of boxing? When did it, the world and everybody, when was the stamp made, bro? The last face of boxing was Floyd. There's never been a face of boxing since, bro. Canelo ain't never been the face of boxing, but this has been cap. The last time he sold 1 million pay-per-view buys was against old Triple G. That's about 5 years ago, bro. You just sold 500,000, bro. But they paid you over 35-40 mil to fight Jamel Charlo, and they lost money, bro. Every time Canelo fight, they lose money. They ain't lose no motherfucking money with Floyd. So there is no face of boxing, bro. That's why boxing, we having a hard time. It's big sometimes, but most of the time, boxing ain't. It just don't cross over. It don't. Tank and Ryan done it. It's a couple fights done it, bro, but it's not many fights in boxing that just bring out everybody. Because at this point, there is no face of boxing. It's not. Tank is the closest one because Tank is more exciting than Canelo. Tank is a better fighter than Canelo. Tank is more versatile than Canelo. Tank can do it, but Tank got to have those fights. Imagine Tank having a trilogy with Shakur and fighting Devin twice. Man, boxing going to be on fire. We got the fights to make it, bro. We just cap for our favorite fighter. No. It's fights in boxing that could turn this shit. Even Canelo versus Benavidez, even though I don't give a fuck about that fight, and I think Benavidez scared of a Morel. That should have turned. If Benavidez and Canelo was to fight this year, and Tank and Shakur was to fight, it'll set boxing on fire. Not no motherfucking Fury, Usyk, none of that shit, bro. That's just some good shit for Britain or some shit like that, bro. But I'm just telling you, when the world look, yeah. It's some fights that could really turn things up. Yeah, it's some fights that could turn things up. Yeah, 140, mix it up. I'm telling you, we need to start having tournaments in every division where all the top 10, top 10 just gotta mix it up. Some shit like that, but Tank is definitely, I have nothing bad to say about this fight. I have nothing bad to say about it. I'm not finna push this weak-ass agenda. Oh, it ain't gonna sell, this and that. I'm not with the two black fighters don't sell. I am all for it. I'm not with that shit, so I support the fight. I'm with it. And it's gonna make Tank gonna get up for this fight. Like I said, I can't lie to kick. In every fight, Tank shows something different. Tank is not the same fighter in every fight. That's how I know he's special. Now, I got Devin beat him, but I got Shakur beating him, but I still know he's special, though. I still know he's special. From fighting on his back foot to when my favorite shit is when Tank just walk through you and just say, fuck it. That's why I say he got one of them kind of chins. He'll just walk through that shit with that high guard, Tank lethal, and just come in with uppercuts and hooks. No. Tank definitely special. I think Frank Morton is good, but this is a fight that'll prove if you special or not. If you really elite. I think Frank Morton is the best fighter that Tank has ever been in the ring with. I think Frank Morton, because I would say Barrios is the best fighter he ever fought. I think Frank better than Barrios, and he's more versatile. Barrios didn't really have a lot of thump. He hurt Keith, but Barrios didn't have no power like that. Frank got power that can change a fight. Barrios don't have that kind of power. I don't know. Maybe at welterweight though. I don't know. No. Let me take that back. Either that or Tank just got a special chin, because Tank was walking through his shit. He hit Tank flush, but I ain't gonna, the way he was hurting. I ain't gonna lie. The way he was hurting Ugas, I think Earl broke Ugas, bro. Ugas ain't never been chinny like that. I think Earl broke him. I don't know. And Keith had just got hurt to the body by old Pac. I can't give you too much. I don't think Barrios cracking like that. No. Frank Morton got real power. But so I got no complaints. But yeah, it ain't no face of boxing, and it ain't been one since Floyd. But if I was to pick one, I pick Tank, cause he got the rappers. It's a couple of rappers fuck with Canelo. Michael B. Jordan fuck with him and shit. But no, all the rappers fuck with Tank. That's who's the biggest star, because rap is the biggest genre. Even though it's very LGBT-ish and very colorful, at the end of the day, hip-hop is the #1 genre. And whatever fighter get the rappers and get hip-hop behind them, that is the face of boxing. Just like Floyd had the rappers. And he had 50 Cent come. They just real shit. They just how it go. Our culture overrules everything. Everybody follows black culture. They just don't follow black people, but they follow the culture. And all I'm saying is this sauce will listen. Whoever got the rappers, whoever got the celebrities, when the celebrities come out and the rappers come out, that's the face of boxing. That's the face of boxing. Yes, there's some celebrities come out for Canelo. Yes, a couple, but everybody come out for Tank. Everybody come out for Tank. So, but anyway, and I'm telling you right now, bro, Tank versus Devin Haney is the biggest fight. But I swear, if Tank versus Devin happen, you'll see Denzel there. Now, we ain't seen him pull up since a Floyd fight or some shit. You'll see Denzel, Will now. You know Diddy gonna be there. You know, we fighting these cases and shit. I don't know. They might got him on house arrest or some shit. But yeah, you gonna see your old Mark Wahlberg now. You gonna see all that shit. Magic Johnson, all that shit. A lot of people's capping that Tank versus Dev. Even Tank versus Shakur is huge. It ain't bigger than Tank versus Dev though. That fight gonna bring out everybody. I'm just telling you. So Tank has more potential. But Canelo fighting Benavidez, they're gonna blow it up. It's gonna be huge. I get it. But that's it. Tank. I'm finna tell you some real shit. Tank got three fights right now that's mega fights. Shakur, I'ma say 4. He got 4 mega fights right now. And I hate to admit it, but T.O., that shit a big fight. It ain't bigger than Dale. I don't even think it's bigger than the Shakur fight, but it's one of them. It's a huge fight. T.O., Matias, Shakur, and Devin, in that order. T.O.'s a huge fight, but I think Tank versus Matias is even bigger. And I think Shakur is bigger than the Matias fight, and the Devin fight is the biggest fight in boxing. He got 4 super fights. Canelo don't have that shit. So, I'm just saying, Tank, I know you ain't gonna fight much longer, but I'm telling you, bro, that's all I ask. You already fighting Frank. That's a huge step. I love it. Man, you fight Shakur and Dale. That's it. You ain't got to do shit else for me. And you beat them too. Oh, no. I have Tank as the face of boxing, the #1 pound-for-pound fighter. And I have him as about top 15 of all time. He beat Shakur and Devin. I have him top 15. Maybe I might have to move him about 12 or something. I'll move him up there. I'll move him, even if he beat one of them. I'm telling you, bro. Because I don't think people realize the shit is, and I think Tank is better than what we've seen. These kind of fights gonna bring some shit out. It's gonna bring some shit out. So I'm just telling you, Tank has the potential. But I don't trust you. Let me make that very clear. I don't trust you. I don't trust you to do that because I don't trust your team. I don't trust you to make these fights happen. I just think sooner or later, it's going to be too obvious. When you see Devin still knocking off dudes, Tank still knocking off dudes, Shakur still knocking off dudes, after a while, bro, y'all got to fight each other. So, anyway, this is 903 Boxing. I'm your host, Charles J. With that, I'm out.